and get this series underway.
Yeah, let's get into it. In the top left here in the red, the underdog in this series, he is ExpecT.
And his opponent in the bottom right, very scary player to come up against. This is Haas.
Like I mentioned about Submarine, it is one of the more popular maps for that sort of, there's a build that's very popular at the moment where you go for, a 2-tank push with a bunch of Marines with no upgrades. You bring like 4 SCVs with you, drop some bunkers. Meanwhile, it's a standard Widowmine opener that goes into something like that, and you keep that medevac theoretically and hopefully alive with Widowmines in it. And then you have a Liberator queued up behind that push. So you got a Liberator hitting the main base, Widowmines hitting the natural, and then you're pushing the third with your tanks, your Marines, and your bunkers. And it is a tough push at any level to hold, especially on a map with a shorter rush distance.
Yeah, I thought I saw you trying that one out on your stream, actually.
To great success. Actually, no, that was the one game I lost. Take that back.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's difficult.
Then I won my TVTs and my TVZs, and that's all that matters. Winning TVT, if I win a TVT, that's like winning 2 or 3 TVPs, because that matchup is just too tough for me.
It feels good. Yeah, that build is hard in execution as well, because you do have a lot of moving parts there. But yeah, that's kind of the trend that we've seen on this map. Maybe not that build specifically, but just harking back to the games we saw on the weekend for Oceania and Southeast Asia. A few tank pushes made an appearance on this map. You got a lot of ledges. I guess the dangerous thing for a Terran here on this map is if you're moving out, because there's a lot of pathways around the map and a few grassy areas, a few rocks, you can sort of get ambushed by some units that are maybe sitting off to the side. And that's honestly like sometimes the best option to take out a push like that, because without it, you're stuck with a Terran that's beautifully set up exactly how they want, with all their siege tanks in position or bunkers or what have you. And it's a
really
bit hard
interesting it's really interesting from Haas to see a shield battery in the main base already. He's just really doesn't want to have to mess with Reaper micro. He's like, no, I'm just removing this part of the game completely.
Fair enough.
What's that adept on the other side of the map?
Really nice harassment here. And he takes out the SCV ×2 because the backup SCV was also taken out. And
hello.
Hello, Starport.
Hello, mate. Now, with the starport out on the map, obviously means it could be a couple things here. He's making a Hellion. It could be multiple Hellions here. So Hellions and a medevac is certainly, we saw TY eliminate parting with at least the first 2 maps with a build just like that. But you could, of course, just go into something like a Liberator very quickly. And a Liberator a lot earlier than you expect, pun not intended, is another great way to just mess up the Protoss build and their plan.
Okay. I was gonna say I feel like Liberator is a little bit more effective than dropping some units in. So that's the choice he's gonna go with, grabbing a Cyclone at home as well. That's good for the defense, but you can always use it in the offense later on as well. And we do have a Warp Prism coming out for Haas as well here. Still hasn't scouted that starport though.
Yeah, so the starport could definitely do quite a bit of damage here to Haas, because Haas's focus seems to be on getting his tier 1.5 units across the map. his cybercore units, the adepts, and some stalkers as well. Warping in a couple now. But the stalkers are, I think once the Reaper is dead, I think they want to go across the map and keep attacking. Haas is being very aggressive here.
Yeah, getting a great scout here is ExpecT as well, getting all the way through the main base of Haas. And even sitting here, picking off some probes, and in comes the Liberator. Yeah.
Well, they're coming back now. A lot of denied mining time here. Good Liberator from ExpecT. Reaper running into the natural to get a probe kill. It's on a move, unfortunately, so it goes for the Stalkers. And, the Liberator doesn't do any direct damage, but it indirectly does some damage by denying a fair bit of mining and forcing a warp in back at home, and also giving him some space to breathe on his side of the map, because he did not want to have to handle, 4 to 8 Stalkers right on his front doorstep, which Haas is going to try and make 4 magic happen with that Warp Prism.
I'm not sure he'll be too successful. There is space for him to drop in here, but we've got the Cyclone there, we've got some Marines. There is a Siege tank a little bit further back in position as well. So let's see how we go here. Does get one SCV right off the bat. Marines now coming up to try and deal with that. Cyclone looking for some shots there. And Haas just microing those with the Warp Prism, but does have to leave.
Yeah, he certainly does. And getting the Observer is a big deal as well. That means that Haas is not aware where the tanks are unless he scouts them with the face of his Stalkers, which is generally not an advisable move. Now, Haas is delaying his third base by quite a bit because he's going to Robo Bay here on 2 bases. He's also making a few more gateways. He's currently on 3, going up to 5 here on 2 base with Robo Tier 3 production around the corner. So Haas is very, very dedicated on 2 base at the moment. The Terran just needs to basically hold on. Cyclone's trying to pick off the Warp Prism. The Stalker's trying to get the Cyclone first, and they do.
Yeah, and Marines come in, but this is more Stalkers than those Marines can actually handle. Oh, he gets the Warp Prism, though.
For the greater good, they were sacrificed. These Marines do go down, but they force the recall, and that was a pretty good defense from ExpecT, all things considered.
Very nicely done. And 2 of those Stalkers getting picked off at the last minute. Haas, on the other hand, has transitioned into Disruptors from here. And, yeah, getting up that tech tree a little bit. Is he going for a third base here? Yeah, sending the probe out as well. Looking to get a little bit more econ happening on his side of the map as he is fully saturated. And to power up that tech, you do need a little bit more money.
Speed Prism Disruptor is the follow-up here for Haas. I mean, that's one of the cool, harassment tools that Protoss can potentially have. It's very stylistic. It's flashy. It also can be one of those things where a Terran's rallying through the middle of the map. You can just get a connection on the middle of like a pack of Marines that's trying to join in with a front push. Something like that. You know, it's a very, very powerful tool all game long.
ExpecT is moving out here. I like with this Liberator, it kind of serves the function of the mine drop, right? It just threatens, and so Haas has to have some Stalkers tied up there, but at the same time moving out here onto the middle of the map and looking for a position at this third base. He's gonna get the siege tanks established, and there's that Warp Prism floating around from behind looking for the shot.
I mean, it's looking for an angle, but where do you go here? You can't defend that third. It gets cancelled. Good push from ExpecT so far. +1 attack. Bio is only really afraid of splash damage at the moment, which is just basically this one Disruptor and this one Colossus. Disruptor Nova goes forward. ExpecT splits his forces in the last second there. Does lose quite a few Marauders and a lot of hit points on one tank, but does he still have an entrenched siege position here? The answer is yes. Haas isn't out of the woods yet.
No, he's not. That Liberator joining the party now as well, and another squad of units is actually heading out on the map as well for ExpecT to join in. And Haas is very patiently waiting for the right moment, going to send out another Disruptor shot. Can clean up a tank if he can get that shot close enough. Looks like he just fizzled out there at the end. But one Colossus is already out, a second one coming in here, and that's going to help out a lot.
Yeah, the 3 Colossi is actually quite a bit of firepower with the Disruptor. Comes the Bio. I feel like there's not enough Bio here from ExpecT to actually stop these units from busting out, and that's definitely the case. And that is going to be a cleanup and a hold from Haas. Yes, his third base was cancelled, and yes, he has been slowed down. But he does have a pretty ginormous Protoss army, and that splash damage is here. So we are a little worried for ExpecT. He just took his third. He's only making it into an orbital right now, and his Viking count is not convincing at all. He only has 2.
Yeah, he's going to have to focus those Colossi with the beefier Marauders there a little bit. It's going to be hard to get close to them, though. He may also end up having to give up his third here if the Protoss goes down there. There's the Disruptor shot again. Doesn't quite get too many units, but the siege tank gets cleaned up, and now Haas smells that third over there. He's going to go take a peek. ExpecT is trying to bait him into a fight so that he leaves it alone, but yeah, this is still a really difficult position.
He's trying to cut Haas off. Haas doesn't want to go for the third. He doesn't want guaranteed damage. He wants to go for the throat and end this game. Disruptor Nova's coming forward. The SCVs and the Bio trying to do their best at splitting, but of course they do take damage. The Colossi are going down slowly here to the Vikings. Oh, the hot pickup from the Prism to try and buy more time on the Colossus. The Vikings encroaching on the Colossus, and the Warp Prism, gets the Colossus. Oh my god, ExpecT. He might be able to hold here with reinforcements. Another Disruptor from the right side. Does lose all these Vikings, except for the couple that landed here.
Model goes down, and the disruptor shots fend ExpecT off from him at the moment, but he did have to recall home with what he has left. Now 20 SCVs went down. 3 CCs means he can restore that pretty quickly, and he's already on that SCV hype train. Just established his own third base on the other side of the map as well, and ExpecT is straight away going to move out here and try and do some more damage here again.
Indeed. His economy is obviously not brilliant, but still having 3 command centers, 3 orbitals for mules, and also being able to make 3 SCVs at a time, while having the bigger army is actually not that bad for Terran, even though he's down in workers. The disruptors are the only things that's really a threat to him. Those Colossi have not been replenished. It's just disruptors here for Haas. They're a very make or break unit, literally.
Yep, he's got another one queued up there as well. Gets only 1 Marauder in that hit. This third base is going to take a real big beating. He might have to commit here. There's a siege tank up the back, and he's moving forward, not able to get the money hits that he's looking for with the disruptor shots. A second one coming out. That one gets rid of a couple of immortals. Marauders, I should say. Probes now coming off the line.
Ooh.
Is this enough?
I think it might be, Zeph, especially with the reinforcements. There's only gateway units left for Haas, and there's no splash damage. ExpecT.
Wow.
Defends, and then counterattacks with a superior army supply and also superior upgrades. Haas not getting any upgrades for his units. And Terra not only got +1 attack, which is very common in this matchup, but also got armor as well, so that bio is a little tankier in the stand-up fight against the gateway units.
Yeah, that was a strong game from ExpecT. Loved the early game there and keeping up the aggression later on. I mean, it looked scary there for him for a moment. I was a little bit clenched, thinking, uh-oh, this counterattack may be a little bit too much for him to handle, but beautifully patient play. And with that counterattack to the counterattack of Haas, if that makes any sense, able to get the win. So yeah, I'm quite impressed by ExpecT there.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a whether the series against Probe and NXZ was very clean for one particular player. I feel like this game was really messy for both of them. You know, there was a lot of damage on both sides. Both players, it's like a heavyweight boxing match where both players are just punching each other in the face instead of like dodging and weaving. They're actually just connecting and just using their like massive bodies to just soak up the blows and survive. But this is one of those ones where Haas ended up on the floor in the end. It looked really good for him at one point with this, this army busting out of here. He has a very big army. He's got a War Prism alive, and I thought, hey, 2 Colossi, 2 or 3 Disruptors, a bunch of gateway units with reinforcements. Absolutely, he could do this. And those 4 Vikings were so clutch here for ExpecT. If he didn't have these 4 Vikings, he dies here. Simple as that.
Yeah, and getting the Warp Prism as well, that just stops this push. Bye-bye reinforcements, Vikings land, and there's far too much firepower here. We see that Immortal collapse at the end, and then that is actually the last Robo unit for a minute. I think he gets out with like 1 Disruptor, and so that counterattack is just too deadly for Haas to survive. So yeah, really nice game from ExpecT, and that gives me some hope in this best of 5 to reinforce the fact that 100% win rate for Haas isn't necessarily going to be accurate here in this series. Wouldn't it be crazy if ExpecT went up 2-0?
That would be nuts. That was his map pick. This is Haas's map pick, so we'll see if Haas has got something special planned, cooking up something fresh in the oven on the Golden Wall. We're going to take a short break. When we return, it's Haas versus ExpecT Game 2. We'll see you then.
Today, I don't care what you think of me. You know I know what I think of you. And this time I'm away, I know just what to do. Yeah. I'm back on top and I don't need anybody else. Yeah. I'm back on top and I don't need anybody else. I'm back on top and I don't need anybody else. Yeah. I'm back on top and I don't need care what I say to you. Cause this time I found my way. I know just what to do. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm back on top and I don't need anybody else. Anybody else, yeah. I'm back on top and I don't need anybody else. Anybody else. I'm back on top and I don't need anybody else. Anybody else, yeah. I'm back on top and I don't need anybody else. Anybody else. I'm back on top. I'm back on top. I'm back on top. I'm back on top and I don't need anybody else.
Say I'm always leaving, reading this on my phone. I ain't got nothing left to say. I hear you getting angry when I'm out the door. What can I do to change your mind? You know I'll always be around. Don't give it up, don't let it go. You got to know it's alright. Don't give it up, don't let it go. You got to know it's alright.
G'day, StarCraft fans. Welcome back. And our second series starting off a little bit spicy here with the underdog player getting the first map win. Now, is this a sign of things to come? Can ExpecT actually get enough maps to win the series and upset that 100% win rate that Haas has? Time will tell. We are going towards Haas's map pick, which is going to be Golden Wall. And Haas is a bit of a mad scientist, so we're looking forward to what his strategy is for this particular map.
Yep, countdown has started here already for Golden Wall, and I'm keen. I do believe in ExpecT. I thought that was a pretty nice game one. Yeah, a couple of dicey moments, but you know, the win is what matters there. And I really liked his opener, good harassment, getting some lost mining time from Haas. So, you know, repeating that performance in the early game would probably set him up for something good, but we're playing Haas's map pick here. So let's hop into it and see what he might have planned. It may be a different kind of spicy game here if he's picked it for a specific reason, but we'll soon find out. Hopping onto the Sano cam over here on the right side of the map. Spawning in the blue, this is ExpecT.
He's starting things off very nasty here in this game. And in the far left, with his map pick, can he tie up the series? It is Haas from JT.
Well, that's certainly some spice, Maynard.
Well, it is. Would you say that this is like a like a wasabi kind of spice, or are we talking chili beans here? A chili seed kind of spice.
You know, I've never actually had real wasabi. I'm gonna go with wasabi though.
Really?
I feel like it's a little less spicy because the wasabi we get isn't real. It's not the actual thing.
Yeah. I was gonna say because
Like
I
that
know
horseradish,
from
yeah.
being your friend for like nearly 10 years now, at least 8 years, you love sushi.
Yeah, I actually don't like wasabi though. So I don't actually
Interesting.
eat it, yeah.
Interesting.
Plot twist.
I never have sushi without wasabi. I'm one of those Neanderthals that just like pours hot sauce over everything. So like, when I have eggs in the morning, I'm just like, let me get that sriracha. When I have a steak, I'm like, yeah, let me get that sriracha. Let me get that Tabasco.
I'm definitely that pickled ginger person with the sushi
Oh,
and stuff.
damn, that is not bad. Yeah, pickled ginger's all right. Oh, this
Speaking
probe
of pickled
tried
ginger.
so hard. It tried so hard to find this proxy, and it didn't find anything. Oh, no.
Oh, tried so hard and got so far. And
But in the end, he's
That's-
pylon walled the main base of the Terran, and he's walking a Zealot into the main. There's nothing that ExpecT can do about it, except maybe send his second Reaper over here.
Yeah, this is pretty wild. Look at that SCV positioning. He actually can't hit it while it's building at the moment. The Reaper is otherwise microing around there.
My
I-
God.
What is this game? Oh my god.
Hell yeah. This is the Haas I know and love. This is the guy that I was a fan of years and years ago. Oh, that silly 4-base 70 probe double forge macro Haas. Get out of here with that. This is the real Haas.
Yeah, he's just got to actually get into that bunker. So far, Haas has done a pretty good job at blocking the pathway into it. So,
Good blocking.
you know.
Yeah, good blocks.
Oh, using the mind. Get it. No, he can't do it.
Zoned
Bruh.
out. Bruh. Use sentries. Use your probes.
Wow. And he's actually going to kill it before it does any damage, maybe? Oh, no, you're kidding
Steph
me.
with a jinx. I mean, the most
cast
important thing here
curse.
is that, look, Haas has literally got a gateway building tier 1.5 units inside the Terran's main base. I don't care if there's a bunker with a Reaper in it. Yes, it's going to kill probes, but I feel like Haas's position is like a little bit more dominant here. Like, there's not a whole lot that ExpecT can do about this. He's super supply block losing these depots as well.
Yeah, I love the idea from ExpecT to throw a curveball on Haas's map, but you have to somewhat expect that Haas is going to do his own curveball. SCVs get a great surround on these couple of units here.
Dude.
Adept gets free reign over these SCVs at the same time, but that's a fantastic start to this defense. Uh-oh.
Yeah, Haas is at the shield battery now, though. These SCVs are like, that thing's not taking damage. What gives? Oh, a shield battery in my main. Cyclone's going to be a big deal. Another Reaper shows up. All right, Haas did not... he's not reacted to this very quickly. That Adept took a little bit to get to work. And this Cyclone is extremely important for ExpecT. If Haas gets... Oh, wow. 3 Stalkers is actually quite a bit, especially with a shield battery. The Cyclone cannot take this fight without the SCV's assistance, so ExpecT's throwing away a few more workers here to make sure that he tries to not just straight up die here.
Yep. Spends a second on the pylon, but the Liberator's going to help out a lot here. Unfortunately, with high ground damage, you can target it down. He's going to need to maybe repair that a little bit if it gets much lower. A lot of SCVs going down here. 22 killed so far. And the Cyclone and Liberator are holding on valiantly. However,
Oh, boy.
down goes the Lib.
ExpecT's getting some decent trades here with his factory and starport unit, but I still stand by the fact that I like this a lot more for Haas. Especially considering that ExpecT has 3 SCVs.
Soon to be 2.
2 SCVs. Yeah.
Now, mules are good, but they're not that good. So,
No, they're not.
GG. Wow.
Now, that's what I wanted.
Last one.
That's what I wanted, man. Thank you, Haas. Thank you, ExpecT. That wasn't just Haas or just ExpecT. Both of those people, you take, and it takes 2 to do the mattress mambo. You know what I'm saying? Like it takes 2 to tango, and it happened. Yeah. And thank you very much, Haas and ExpecT, for that wild game of StarCraft where we just sort of sat there and we're like, we're here to analyze, we're here to cast, but whoop, Jesus, take the wheel. Let's just see what happens.
Yeah, I love it. Really different games we're getting out of these two so far. Proxy both games, and this one definitely a lot weirder, considering that both of them decided to go for the proxy option. That's not a scenario you really get to practice. And this poor probe, oh my goodness. I mean, it didn't end up mattering, right? But yeah, really tried to spot the cheekiness there from ExpecT in the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were seeing the whole game plan there of ExpecT was to obviously proxy those Reapers into the bunker and just ruin the main mineral line of Haas, or cause it to be really cost inefficient for Haas to clean it up. But getting a warp gate and a shield battery in the main base of your Terran when they literally cannot wall off and they have one production facility that can actually make stuff and they're supply blocked, I know which side I'd rather be.
Yeah. Well, we'll get the next map set up in just a second and hop into game number 3, because this now effectively transforms into best of 3 territory, right? They're 1 apiece. So, yeah, at least 2 maps left here for us. What a treat. I hope we go all 5. Because, yeah, I mean, that's going to be the hard thing to overcome, right? If Haas is pulling out the extra wild strats, then you don't always know how to react to that. And especially, sometimes you've got a very specific build in mind and you're like, all right, this is the one for this map. Practiced it a million times. It's going to work. And then your opponent behaves completely differently to what you're anticipating and it goes out the window. So, yeah, keen to get in it. Gonna be Everdream.
Yep, Everdream a bit more of a standard map here. They're one of the most standard maps ever. So we'll see how this one rounds out. It was going to be a Zeph versus Maynard game with Haas and ExpecT as commentators, but we've had a rotation, so I guess we'll be the casters.
That would
That's
actually
okay.
be a lot of fun.
Would be, yeah. Watch out for
Probably
battle cruisers. Is all I gotta tell. That's all I gotta say. Watch
Oh,
out,
yeah?
they're coming.
Is that right?
Oh,
We
yeah, they're
should
coming.
1v1.
Yeah, we should.
1v1.
We'll see where
Probably
we're at right
similar
now.
level. Yeah.
Maybe now. Yeah,
that'd
we'll
be
see.
good.
Doom has not been helping my StarCraft level, but got some W's today on the back seat on my Twitch channel.
Oh, yeah?
It's always nice.
That's good.
Oh yeah. Yep. Like I said, if I win TVTs and I won 2 today, that's like winning 3 TVPs each. So I essentially won 6 TVPs today.
TVT is the thing that scares me most about switching back to Terran, not gonna lie.
It's if you're good at it, it looks really easy, but if you are like, if you're a little bit on the downside of a TVT, you are going to eat a lot of excrement. Anyway, let's get into this one. In the top right here, from J Team winning game 2 and tying it up 1 apiece, it is Haas.
His opponent over in the bottom left, spawning in the red. This is ExpecT. Now, I'm assuming that's a clan. He's got Naive Dreamworld. Is that what it says on it?
I hope that's his clan. His Naive Dreamworld would be an amazing team name. In not good way, but love to them if they are a team.
I was under the impression that ExpecT is another teamless player at the moment, which is strange.
Yeah, so it's almost certainly a clan then.
Yeah, because he's also a very good player. It blows my mind that some of the top players in the region can be teamless. Come on, team owners, get on it.
You know what, Zeph? We had some graphics saying that he's teamless. We also had a graphic saying that he's a standard player. And there's 2 games in a row where I've seen him put buildings out in the middle of the map. 3 actually.
Lying to us.
Because he proxied the starport in game 1.
Yeah.
He went very early double gas, very early wall off, and that's always a red flag for the Protoss. And oh my. This is a pretty quick cybercore from Haas, so I think he might be 2-gating here, or maybe proxying a Stargate or something like that. But yeah, like this is aggression from both sides. Robo.
I like how. Oh, okay, that's gonna pack a punch. I like how ExpecT has now proxied each of the first buildings you usually make. One racks, 1 starport, 1 factory, and in fact,
right.
he's gone pretty deep on this one as well.
Yeah, this is one of those ones where the game should not go too long. In which direction, we're not too aware of just yet. Haas looks like he might be going for a very quick forward prism, but you could also just go for Immortals and try and break the Terran with the Robo. It's another thing you do with a proxy Robo. Usually proxy Robos means Immortals, but yeah.
Yeah.
It is a very nasty thing to have to deal with when you don't have bunkers or tanks or something that's like a good ball of Marines.
Yeah, and the amount of time it would take to float those structures back is just not worth it. You'd have to make something back there at the factory in Starport and maybe ferry it over. That might be the best way to get something in the base. Okay, so it's going to be Warp Prism, and with him having all these gates and stalkers, the early game Terran units do not have a lot that work against those. Can get kited for days. However, ExpecT is going to be the first one to venture into his opponent's base here.
Getting that observer is really, really nice there from ExpecT. He's getting multiple bunkers. I think he's realized that Haas is proxying him. But even if these Hellions get in the middle line, Haas has a shield battery. So he's played Knifey Spoony before, and he seems pretty prepared for, to be punished for his one basiness.
Yeah, nothing's really going to be able to get in here and do too much damage. If he gets right behind the mineral line and drops straight away, he might actually be able to get a line of probes. There is a shield battery here as well, but he's a bit oversaturated, so if he does manage to get in there and get a good couple of hits,
oh damn,
maybe damage there, but unfortunately it's found the structures now, and these stalkers can give those buildings a bit of grief.
Yeah, they certainly can. I was about to say, like, what do you do against this as a Terran when the Prism finds your proxy and you're getting a couple stalkers warped in right in front of you? I guess you just float back, do the float of shame, hope that some of your buildings survive. They should both survive. A lot of hit points on those. Hellions running towards the natural. There's not really anything here yet. Liberator attempts the main base, but doesn't want to overextend and lose it to stalkers for free. It's a very precarious moment in the game here when neither player can really afford to throw away too much yet. Especially considering the natural is just about to finish for Haas, and ExpecT's natural is still very much on the way in his main.
And ExpecT's actually wandered out a little bit with those Marines, thinking about trying to defend that. However, it looks like he will lose the starport. I'm not sure he can actually save that. He'd need to repair, but no, it's too late.
Yeah, just two stalkers. That starport would have survived, but the extra units coming in from Haas, he finishes it off.
Heading into the twilight now, and with the amount of stalkers out, you could imagine that probably be Blink.
Oh my god, he salvaged the bunkers.
Yeah,
bro.
he thought he was gravy, but he's not. And that bunker will finish up again though, so not to worry there. It looks like Haas is now in a sort of similar position where he's like, where can I actually drop these off? And there's not really a position available at the moment. Now, with Haas having it expanded, that gives a little bit more opportunity to find a spot to park this Liberator or drop the Hellions. However, look how well Haas is actually set up here.
Yeah, I mean, he's forcing the Liberator back to Mount Serral, the top right of Everdream. A mountain that can only be appreciated and never climbed. Oh, Stim. Okay, he's going to save Stim here.
Yep, minor clench there for a second. That would have been a huge deal if he got rid of that. But as it stands, Haas, he's got an expansion. He's mining from it, and ExpecT is aware of that. He doesn't really have his own down there yet.
God, desperately, this Liberator's trying to climb Mount Serral. It's a flying unit, and it still can't make it to the summit. A little bit of a trade here at the front. Obviously, Haas has essentially Blink off cooldown without cooldown on these 4 stalkers because of the Warp Prism. He controls well enough, but there's a tank now. Double Observer from Haas, though, so he has like awareness of where the tank is, and the Observer is such an important moment for when you are doing a Blink aggression like Haas is doing right here. He knows where the tanks are, and he knows where the bio is, and that is a huge stalker commitment here from Haas. Starts a 3rd Nexus behind it as well, so not even all in. Just a lot of pressure.
Yeah. He knows that he's got a lot to work with here, and that ExpecT is going to have a bit of trouble defending against. 2 tanks are great, don't get me wrong, but there's more than one place that he can maneuver to, and there's also potential to just go in and snipe it, and that's exactly what he does. Targets down the siege tanks immediately, and this is absolute carnage for ExpecT.
Certainly is. A couple Marauders in the high ground, but Haas has got Blink as well, and don't forget that is a big problem for ExpecT. As Haas can just trade all day down here and even pick off the natural. I would even let the CC at this point and try and save it because there's no coming down this ramp. It's dead. And I think as a result, ExpecT might be as well. There's not a whole lot that's looking good for the Terran. That was no GG from ExpecT, by the way. No doubt forgetting where his G key is.
Yeah, happens to me sometimes.
An honest mistake. Yeah, honest mistake, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's a bit of a rough game. These are the scenarios that you don't really get to practice for, right? How would you know that Haas is going to proxy robo you at the same time that you're going to proxy factory and starport? I think he has that vibe that, yeah, that's a possibility. And maybe his approach here is just, okay, I'll just take it as I come because it's impossible to know exactly what his approach is going to be here. Because again, I liked the idea that ExpecT had, but that's a lot of Blink Stalker.
Yeah, sometimes PvT be like that. When you go for the Blink Stalker opening and you're not a Terran that's sitting back and going for a Widowmine drop into tank production like a standard Terran normally would. In this matchup, you're proxying your factory, you're proxying your starport, you're going for an incredibly committed Hellion drop, and at the expense of your proxy as well, because how exposed your factory and your starport are. They're on their way flying home. In fact, you lose one of those production facilities while the other one's just flying back and not producing anything. You just don't have anything. And that's when that Blink Stalker stuff can just be a free win rather than just a pretty good pressure.
Yeah, and I think there we see the difference between Haas and ExpecT's play styles. Haas seemed to know exactly how to handle that situation. He just pulled back, played really defensive, expanded, got blink, and that was a very clear pathway to victory for him. So yeah, fantastic game there for Haas. He's now on match point. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, it will be game number 4.
When they drop the music tonight, gonna give me just what I like. Oh, 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 we'll take it straight to the top. Yeah, yeah. Come on, everybody, this is how we shake it up. We came here to party and we are gonna take it up. Wanna go for a ride, cause we're coming alive. Do you feel that feeling? From the floor to the ceiling, it's burning up and we don't stop. Do you feel that feeling? Do you feel that feeling? Oh, you better believe it. Feel the love, can't get enough. Do you feel that feeling? And I feel it in my soul. My body's about to lose control. And I feel it in my bones. And I don't wanna let it go. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Feel that feeling. Na 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 na. Feel that feeling. Na 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 na. It's burning up and we don't stop. Do you feel that feeling? Feel that feeling. Na 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 na. Feel that feeling. Na 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 na. Feel that feeling. Na 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 na. Feel that feeling.
What's raining is the sound. Are you complaining? Waiting for you to finish so I can start explaining my point of view, but it don't even matter. I guess your mind made up. Tell me what you rather. I'm thinking, is it me? Is it meant to be? What's the use of staying? Should I pack up and leave? Is there somebody else? Tell me what you felt. Tell me how you feel. Stop thinking about yourself. Think about the past. Didn't we have a blast? You always used to tell me that we were gonna last, that we was on the path of commitment. Now I'm sitting here all alone trying to figure out what is this. The same mistakes that I made in my past. I let myself down like a clown, my bad. It's sad, I can't even trust myself. Can't take a look in the mirror, I disgust myself.
Time like we used to do, cause I hate what I hear when I talk to you. Cause it's one line and another line just to get by. And nowadays things never seem like they used to be. Cause I hate what I feel when you're next to me. Cause it's one line and another line just to get by.
G'day mates, welcome back to potentially the last game of StarCraft for this broadcast. We do have Haas on match point with ExpecT on the back foot, which we kind of assumed would be the case. What do you think, Zeph? With this map coming up next, this is the impossible task, by the way, that I'm giving you right now. I'm essentially asking you to juggle 10 flaming swords while on a unicycle, which is to say that I'm asking you to tell me what you think is going to happen in this game between Haas and ExpecT. Two players that have been very cheesy, very aggressive, lots of proxies.
I mean, we've seen 3 proxies in a row from ExpecT. It feels like that's very much the theme he's following. I wouldn't be surprised to see it again. He made it work once. And so why not keep going with it? I mean, he's been put in weird positions because Haas has done his own proxies, right? So that's kind of been the key to this failing for him. And Haas, he's on match point. Maybe he wants to play a little bit more quote-unquote standard, whatever that means for Haas here. Maybe he'll get lucky this time and have Haas just not interrupt his plans that way. I don't want to count ExpecT out at all. I really hope he can pull out the win here. It's going to be Death Aura. So yeah, not the shortest rush distance, but you have those little zones out and about. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I think, yeah, Haas is still favored. He's dealt with these situations a lot better. But you got to have faith. That's what it comes down to.
Do indeed. And I think a little bit of faith and a lot of skill is going to be what ExpecT needs here to tie it up and go to the ace match. In the bottom right, it is the man himself, the Terran player, the last remaining one here from Taiwan. He is ExpecT.
And in the top left-hand side, on match point, this is Haas.
Certainly is. Now, while there was a proxy structure in game one from ExpecT, I wouldn't have called that a cheesy game. It was still pretty normal, other than the fact that a starport was proxied with a Liberator. And I think that style from ExpecT, it looked like, see, the thing that's kind of like weird about wanting to have more of that is that it could have gone either way. You know, because Haas was very, very close to winning the game then too, with his his overextension kind of sealing his fate. But I do actually want a little bit more of a regular build from ExpecT, and so far so good. We are just seeing a single gas opener, barracks, and it looks like a fast expand from ExpecT. Haas dropping a proxy pylon already. Second probe moving out. The first one going in for a scout after dropping the pylon.
Okay, cool. Well, I guess Haas is also happy to play a game of proxies here. Command center goes down on the low ground there for ExpecT while the Reaper is on the way, and ExpecT is going to go ahead and have a bit of a look around. All right.
Now you know you're being proxied.
Yep. Now, I would think as ExpecT, you know who you're playing, right? You've got to surely be somewhat prepared for this eventuality.
Oh, Robo, really? I actually think like Stargate is a little bit harder to hold, but then again, Proxy Stargate is least effective against Terran as it is versus Protoss and Zerg because they're 3 hitting the SCVs. So it's, I would have thought that would be a nice choice. ExpecT is looking really hard right now for proxies with his Reaper. He just missed it ever so slightly. He's swinging back around. Is he beelining back home? I think he might be. I don't see a shift click on the Reaper, so yeah, it's just going straight home. Not going to see anything.
There truly is an art to figuring out where to place the proxy buildings on maps so that they just don't get scouted, even when someone's trying to be really thorough on the map. The Reaper's coming out again. Maybe.
I think so. There it is. Hello, Robo.
Hey.
Howdy, neighbor. Now, a bunker needs to happen here for ExpecT, and by bunker, I might mean bunkers. He's going to have a surge of minerals, but he might have to cut SCVs for a bit and rely on mules for a bit. Yeah, he's getting a tech lab on his factory on the way. He's got a bunker, but again, I feel like bunkers is important, so he starts a second one in the main, which I think is completely justified.
Yeah. If we see its tank come out here again for the defense, that's good as well. Unfortunately, with it being a robo, yeah, he can beat down the front door, but there's an option to get the vision for the high ground or straight up War Prism to drop into the main as well, which is what he's going for here. So you have to cover suddenly so much more surface area than you'd otherwise be worried about. And can ExpecT hold here. He's got the forewarning. He's getting pretty well set up. Tank's going to be out.
Yep.
This is still somewhat of a tricky hold. Mortals do a lot of damage.
They do. They're not bad units. The tank is a big deal here for ExpecT. He's pulled SCVs to the front of the bunker to repair. And I like that he kept the Reaper in front of that robotics facility because he's like, okay, is this a Prism or an Immortal? And he saw it was an Immortal, so he was getting a little bit more prepared for it. But now it is a War Prism. So this is where the bunker in the main comes in handy and why the tank is still in the main. And he does, of course, need to be careful. And he, of course, will need to have some SCVs to assist.
Yeah, this is actually going to supply a block ExpecT as well, which isn't ideal when you're trying to defend against a proxy build. But behind this, Haas is continuing into a different tech path. He's going to grab himself the Twilight Council there. He's got his expansion up and running. He's making probes, so it's not like all his eggs are in this one basket, but he can continue to do a lot of damage here and deny a lot of mining time on the mineral lines by dropping back here. Now, wants to be careful if he's coming in here.
Yeah, this is the most defended area of ExpecT's infrastructure. He is picking up an SCV here or there, though. Haas is finding damage. As long as he doesn't lose the prism and lose everything inside of it, it's going to be fine for Haas. And so far, so good.
Yeah. Full
Wow,
work it
charge
kills.
follow-up Haas, and he's making a bunch of gateways.
Huh.
Well, well, well. Old Haas is back. If we weren't clear of that, now we know.
Yeah, I was in my head like, maybe blink. But yeah, with charge, you chop up all those units, including the tanks, rather quickly. A big warp in, and the main base can change things very quickly as well. But yeah, I like that ExpecT has that Viking patrolling out in the dead space there, so he can narrow down the number of places that warp prism can actually come from. And Templar Archives coming down behind this as well.
Hell yeah, man. Archons. You think this is for Storm in a 4th base, Zeph? I don't think so.
What?
It's to make
Really?
Archons. He wants to make an army that you click 1 and then A and then left click on your opponent.
Crazy.
And I don't think that's a wrong call. I think that's an army that's going to be very strong. But ExpecT is not getting, he's not getting confident. He's not getting cheeky. He's like, everything is still at home. This is what I was talking about. When you're a more standard Terran, this can sometimes be a weakness for Haas because he wants to attack and he doesn't want to not attack. Sorry for the double negative. So all the Terran needs to do is just wait. You just wait, and that's how you beat this.
Yeah, and he's getting a pretty formidable defensive position here. 4 tanks are out, 20 Marines or so, and finally heading towards Stim and +1. If he can get those, that'll be a really nice position for him, but he does have to contend with a rather large Protoss force. The heavy hitters here, of course, are the Immortals.
No, Haas. Haas, don't.
Ooh, I don't know.
I don't know about this one, Haas.
Well, SCV's coming up the line. They're going to get chopped here on the front line.
Ooh,
He's actually
good target fire on
starting to
the
target
tanks.
down these.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good target fire on the tanks. He's taking them down one at a time. A lot of the SCVs are actually dying to splash damage, and also that force field on the ramp. Really amazing for Haas. Oh, wow, this worked. Nicely played.
Oh my goodness, Haas. He could just read this too well. I would never in a million years have attacked into that, but he gets in there and he makes it work.
Float as well. Bit of a zest float. There it is. Okay, 5 zealots.
There we go. And he's actually going to go for it up the ramp, really?
I am shocked, but I mean, everything he's done so far has worked, so let's go.
Gonna work.
Oh, he target fires the tank. He's done it. He's done it. The mad lad.
Wow.
It's good to see you. Welcome back, Haas. Second no GG from ExpecT.